It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports. And tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Ravens and the Giants, and it comes your way next.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of the G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And Charles, our ball game here featuring a couple of young quarterbacks a lot of people have their eye on. Lamar Jackson of the Ravens, Daniel Jones of the Giants.
Yeah, Brandon, we're starting to see some of the old guard moving on. Guys like Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning. And in their place, there have been some dynamic young guys who have come into the league, not just this year, but in the last 3 or 4 years in particular. They've really changed the quarterback position. And I think both of these guys fit into that category. Youth is being served.
Two teams have met in Super Bowl 35 down in Tampa. The Ravens and Giants are underway. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The former number 6 overall pick of 2019, Daniel Jones, trots out to lead this New York Giants offense.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and of course take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Patrick Queen coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after him.
And you were telling me pregame before we came on air, you think this is something we could see a lot.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because this is a unit that wants to play the game on their terms.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Looking for Shepard deep. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What, does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Jones. Out to the right here to Shepard. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
A first down carry for Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Barkley.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Booker.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Devontae Booker taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's Devontae Booker that's able to finish it off with a touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off the play fake. Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards.
For all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this? I'll bet that won't be the last time we see them take a deep shot in this game.
Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing is Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. This is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off at the 19. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. No doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. This is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Linebacker Patrick bringing him down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap, to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And this is Shepard on the jet sweep. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jones. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters.
And the Ravens will have the football as this is taken up past the 30.
But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, we've got to finish. We got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Jackson now.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Here's Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Let's go. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
Azeez Ojulari
with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
Well, they sit him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
A look at Sterling Shepard as he and this offense get set to go again. And we roll tape now on his solid performance.
And what we've been seeing so far is a great combination of finesse and aggressiveness in running his routes and making plays. That's what you want in any type of a receiver. The guy knows exactly what to do on a given play and ends up making the plays that help your team win.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 10.
Throwing again, Jones. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Operating from the gun, Jones. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. $35 yards that time on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Buying time to his left.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Now a man who played his final season at nearby Rutgers, it's Gus Edwards. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Jackson going to keep it running right.
Oh, good move. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he stopped immediately there.
Tay Crowder able to make the play.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Now Jackson going to take off with it.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
On third down, Jackson.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
An option handoff here to Dobbins.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
There's the option going left on 2nd down. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find a way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This is a 26-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
On the return is Cooper from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Check.
Jones now throwing on first down. That ball caught by Slayton. And he is finally out of bounds across midfield at the 40-yard line. A big play there for the Giants.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. And now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Andrew Thomas, former first-rounder from Georgia, called for the penalty there.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. He'll get this one to Galladay. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Jones. And Ingram hauls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl, Marcus Peters.
And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who...
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now it's Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And Jackson throwing once more. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Come on, man.
Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Jackson. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. James Prochet in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens have taken the lead. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So they potentially could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And he puts this one through as the lead moves to 13-7. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
Cooper on the return.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first two quarters. Meanwhile, for the Giants, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And some room to work. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Boy, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Slings it to Anders, and it's complete. The tight end has it.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Second down, here's an option right. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. To throw is Jackson.
He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he will have a Ravens first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he'll take this one down near the 15.
Dexter Lawrence that time in on the stop.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's 2nd and 9. Another run here with Dobbins.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Touchdown! Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion.
And they'll try to run it in with Dobbins.
And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. The defense left him with nowhere to go, and the try for 2 is denied. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And this is going to be incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now Saquon Barkley, and it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Come on now. Let's do this. Let's go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Mike 40, I'm coming after you.
Throwing Jones. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
And Jackson going to run again.
1st down and more for Jackson. And down right around the 37.
Boys, let's go. Let's go.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense. 5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range, no sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
On the return is Cooper from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line.
Deshaun Elliott up to make the play defensively.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd down and 8.
Again, it's Barkley. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
He sets to fire deep. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over.
The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins.
And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The drive will start with an option going left. 1st down and more for Jackson. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. They go play action now. Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Now a handoff for Dobbins.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun.
Quick slant to Brown. And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll run with Dobbins.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 3 quarters have come and gone.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Second and goal from the 1.
Edwards.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Gus Edwards.
Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Ravens have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, and this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator, and they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter, and I don't see them looking back.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was polished off by the Gus Edwards touchdown run.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
On the return is Cooper from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
He'll set up to throw from the gun.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Like a freight train off the edge, Calais Campbell with a sack.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the 1st down sack. Jones finds his tight end Ingram. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. Dancing to his left. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got a man, Slayton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Now Jones on 1st and 10. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Saquon Barkley, we know how good he is in the running game, but here good yardage in the passing game as he's able to shake free.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the catch on the next-gen stats.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2.
Jones throwing for it.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Duvernay now going to bring it out.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
Devin Duvernay. And it will be an excellent return here all the way down inside the 25-yard line. What a play.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside, he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd and 9. Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
We're all right. Just call the call. We're going to play. Come on now.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now after the face mask penalty, here's 1st and goal. Here's Jackson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Tucker now for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And Cooper is going to remain in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive, Jones. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Now, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Jones. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And this is how the game has trended for him numbers-wise. He's really picked it up. And I got to be honest, I don't know schematically. This is where I need you. What does the defense need to do to get back to that start that they had on him?
You've got to harass him early in his route. Right off the line of scrimmage, someone needs to be there. So it's not what we call a free release where he just gets into the route so easily. Because once he builds up momentum and speed, forget it, you're done. Knock him off of that, chip away at his timing, and then make sure you have a second person there in the vicinity as well. Too big and too strong usually for one person to handle.
Edwards now on 1st and 10. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now it's Edwards. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, his second touchdown of the night. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead is now an even 30. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return from Cooper. Out it'll go to the 25. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram, his tight end. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. It's hauled in by Shepard. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Steps away to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Jones. Open man right side is Ingram. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Looking to throw. Jones. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Houston able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Throwing deep for Galladay. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 34.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
98 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the 1st quarter.
They were gone in the 1st quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they run the option on 2nd down.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.